okay, I'm almost to the end of the scene. And then suddenly the panic starts rising in you because you've seen like so many things, like it's almost gone right. And then you're like, oh God, all the responsibility is on me now. I'm going to mess this up.
Time travel.
No. Inversion.
Aim it and pull the trigger. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Whoa.
Well, I've seen too much.
Well, we'll try and keep up.
I mean, there's the audacity of some of these sequences is completely crazy.
I think any time we went to even a new country, because we shot this movie in 7 different countries, so every time you kind of the plane would land somewhere and the sort of the traveling circus of making this film would just spring up in 24 hours, the cameras would be rolling again, and it was so surreal.
I walked out of a door. Arrived at this location. It was very early. It was dark. They took me into this place. I was a bit sort of woozy with it all. The flight had been delayed and everything. And later that morning, I opened the door to the bottom of this building, and there was Amalfi, 5,000 people. In front of me was Christopher Nolan. There was a massive yacht. There were like 3 camera crews. There was a launch. Elizabeth Debicki looking like the most ravishing creature that ever been created. John David Washington looking as cool as the coolest thing that ever been seen on screen. And they said, Ken, are you ready? We're taking you to your yacht. That was, I would say, a whoa moment.
I think some of the physicality, some of the combat stuff, the hand-to-hand combat stuff that you see in the movements. I don't want to give it away, but the movements between inverted world and regular world. Whoa.
But I actually do really remember between the 3 of us, JD and Rob and I, the sequence where the plane goes into the building. And I remember that. I feel like, Rob, it was definitely a night shoot. I feel like it was like 1 a.m. and we were standing there in duffel coats and everybody was like waiting for this thing to happen. And you kind of, it's that thing as an actor where you read it, but this is only really in a Nolan film. You read it and you go, okay, plane goes into, okay, yeah. And then, I don't know, something happens in your brain where you go, yeah, plane goes into building. I think you're so used to VFX in a way. But all of a sudden, we're standing on this tarmac at like 2 a.m., all these coats on, and like, we watched this plane go to building.
I think it has to be the plane sequence. I mean, there's also just so many, some of the shots just all around that sequence, which I was doing with JD as well. I mean, there are these really, really long, beautiful Steadicam shots where like there are so many elements and such a kind of clockwork sort of intricacy to like everything happening, where everyone's rehearsed the sequence again and again and again. I mean, you suddenly, and like, as you see all the pieces come into play and you're doing everything backwards as well, like you just start thinking like, okay, I'm almost to the end of the scene. And then suddenly the panic starts rising in you because you've seen like so many things, like it's almost gone right. I mean, you're like, oh God, all the responsibility is on me now. I'm going to mess this up. Like, I mean, it's fun and terrifying at the same time.
And I remember the extras like running out, and you can't sometimes on a Nolan set, sometimes because he shoots so fast too. Sometimes for a second, I get these moments where I go, oh my, but then it was a stunt person because like just happening in front of your eyes.
We've never seen that in cinema before. And the preparation for making these moments come to life the way they did, it was worth it. It was a lot of preparation, a lot of discovery, some trial and error stuff. I think from people like George Cottle, our the head stunt coordinator, that have seen and done it all. Even he found himself saying, "Whoa," a lot of times, which was super encouraging and fun to know that we're kind of discovering it together. I'm finding out the same way they are. It's really cool.
I think a lot of the time you're so terrified about having to do it and do it right that you're kind of, I'm just constantly normalizing everything, going, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Like no matter what it is, you're like, yep, can't do that, but coming right up.
The exhilarating blockbuster from Christopher Nolan. He's written it like a personal film. It comes out like a massive train of a movie, exhilarating, blow your brains out, blow your mind out, and a great way to get back to the escapism of the movies.
You want to crash a plane?
But not from the air. That was so dramatic.
Well, how big a plane?
That part is a little dramatic.